Welcome to week one of organizational behavior. This is the fall 2014 quarter. I'm your online instructor, Diana Block, and I'll be working with you this quarter. I'm excited to talk to you and learn more about you in the discussion areas and throughout the course. So to get started, I want to go ahead and take a look at the course itself and just kind of give you an overview of the format of how we're going to attack studying organizational behavior. So this is your Unit 1 content area, and every week you're going to find you have some reading. Um, so this week you've got Unit 1 reading. It consists of chapters 1 and 2 in our textbook, and every week I'll have the PowerPoints that go along with those chapters attached as well. Then you will have every week some discussion, so make sure you click into the discussion week. The discussion link each week and participate in the class discussion. And then you will have an assignment each week. These assignments primarily come out of the textbook, but occasionally there will be one where it'll be a written assignment and the question is not actually directly from the textbook. There's also going to be some additional learning resources. These are going to be great tools to help you understand the course material and to do your best in the class. So let's look at each of these again. This week we're going to read chapters 1 and 2 in our organizational behavior textbook, and that is an ebook. So you have your ebook link here. Now, this particular week in week 1, I've also posted the course paper instructions. You are going to have 3 special papers throughout this course, and they're later in the second half of the course, but I'm putting the instructions here now because as you go throughout the course, all of the information that you're learning starting in week 1 will contribute to those course papers. In week 8, you're going to do a movie analysis paper, and all the details about this are in this course paper instructions. So I encourage you to download this week and review it. But there are pre-selected movies that are readily available. They're not new releases or anything, so you can find them cheaply online or somewhere locally um, for purchase or rental. It's up to you. So you'll select one of the pre-chosen, pre-approved movies, and you're going to describe the organizational behaviors that are in that film. And so you're going to go through all of the chapter reading that you have done up to that point. Like I said, that movie analysis paper is in Unit 8. All of the terminology, concepts, theories about organizational behavior that we've studied so far, you're going to tell me in your paper how they apply to the behaviors you're witnessing in that film. So the movie analysis paper is not a review of the film. It's not a discussion about whether you like the film or it was entertaining. It's specifically to look at the behaviors within the organization. Each one of the pre-selected films has as its backdrop an organization. An organization is the central figure in the film, and we're going to see how people behave within those organizations. So then, um, in week 10, you will do an organization analysis. So in this paper, you will select an actual organization that you're familiar with, that you know about, a real organization rather than a movie, and you're going to discuss again the organizational behaviors that are present in that firm, and you're going to use specific terminology, specific concepts and theories from the class that we've studied up to that point. Then in the last week, you're going to do a self-analysis talking about what you have gained or learned about yourself and your own behavior within organizations. And again, with that paper, you're going to use specific terminology, concepts, and theories from our textbook reading. And so the common theme is that you're going to use specific concepts to apply to these situations. On the homework each week, let's go ahead and look down at the homework, the assignments rather. On the assignments each week, Even the weeks that we don't have a special paper, just a regular weekly assignment, you're also going to use specific concepts, terminology, and theory from the textbook. These assignments are not meant for you to just give a general overview of the company or a general overview of the problem presented. We want specific information from our textbook, specific terms and concepts that we learned in the reading that week that apply to the situation. Um, so keep that in mind for the assignments. Each week, normally there's going to be two assignments because you have two chapters to read. So one assignment will come out of one chapter and the other part of the assignment will come out of the other. You can go ahead and put both of these portions of the assignment into one file for the week when you submit it. The discussion, let's talk about the discussion for a bit. In the class discussion, you will create a main post that gives your response to the discussion topic, and make sure you address all portions of the discussion um, with some answers that go beyond just the obvious or the surface issues, and really use the reading that week to dig deeper into how organizational behavior applies to the discussion topic. Then you'll also have to make, in addition to the main post, you'll make two responses to your classmates' posts. And again, those posts need to have some meaningful information in it that relate to organizational behavior. Posts that just say good post or great job or I agree will not count for credit. So make sure that you're actually having a real discussion about organizational behavior and real issues in the organization that you're discussing. So every week you're going to look for reading assignment, discussion, and an assignment. This week you have some information about your course papers, so I encourage you to download that now and just get comfortable for what's coming up later. Then you've got some additional learning resources. This week you're going to read chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 1 is an introduction to organizational behavior and explains the science of organizational behavior and why it's important. Chapter 2 discusses personality and style. And so some of the information in there is going to tell you a lot of characteristics of different personality types. And you also will complete some of the surveys in Chapter 2 as part of your discussion for the week. Part of your discussion main post is to fill out some of the personality surveys and see where you score. So in addition to the ones in the book, there is also a link here in the additional resources area to some personality tests that you can also take and use as the basis for your discussion in the discussion forum for week 1. So we're going to talk about it, basically an introduction to organizational behavior, and then we're going to talk about personality as our first topic. So the assignments that you're going to do this week, the chapter 1 assignment is about a company called Netflix, and you'll read a short article at the end of the chapter about Netflix, and then answer the questions at the end of the case. So remember, when you answer the questions at the end of the case, we're looking for you to use specific terms, concepts, and theories from chapter 1. We're not looking for you to quote the case. We're wanting you to take the information in the case and see which concepts throughout the chapter apply to it. A helpful guide is the chapter summary and key terms. For chapter 1, the chapter summary and key terms is on page 24 and continues on to page 25. And it lists all of the key concepts, theories, and terms that are in that chapter. So your responses to the case questions about Netflix should include at least some of these key terms and concepts. If you don't have any of these key terms and concepts from pages 24 and 25 in your responses, you have not done the assignment correctly. So the second part of the assignment over chapter 2 is a personality case on pages 52 and 53. So again, you're going to read the case, and then you're going to answer the discussion questions at the end. So when you answer those discussion questions at the end, you're going to do that by examining the concepts, theories, and terminology that are discussed about personality in Chapter 2, and you're going to use that information to answer the questions about the case. Again, we're not looking for you to repeat the information that's in the case. We want you to apply the information in the case to the concepts you learned in Chapter 2. So on Chapter 2, you have chapter summary and key terms that's on page 56 and continues on to 57. And it has, again, a list of all the different concepts, theories, terminology that is from the chapter. So you need to be using these terms to give your answers to the case questions. If you're just given a general answer to the case question, like Mr. Branson was an outgoing guy, he may have been, but that's not what we've been studying in Chapter 2. Chapter 2 gives you specific terminology and specific concepts about theories of organizational behavior and personality, and that's what you need to be using in order to answer those questions. So that's how you're going to complete the assignment and get the maximum points possible. Here in the additional learning resources area, you also have a practice quiz, and this will be here every week. In chapters 4, 7, and 11, we're going to have quizzes in this class, and they'll be comprehensive up to that point. So the quiz in chapter 4 will cover what we've studied from unit 1 all the way through unit 4. So it wouldn't hurt if you have time to go ahead and start doing the practice quizzes as well, just so that when it's time for the quiz, you don't have to do a lot of cramming and you've already studied for the quizzes. So that is the information to get your assignments in for week 1. Got a couple more minutes, so I just want to go over a quick housekeeping item. My contact information is here in the instructor link. So you've got my phone number, email address, and my office hours. So feel free to contact me anytime you have questions or the requirements are not clear. Also, I want to point out, just so we're all on the same page, our late policy. This class does involve a lot of work, a lot of writing each week, and it's going to be important to stay current on all of that. As you all know, if you're a previous student, all the work is due by Sunday night before midnight. I do have a 3-day grace period in which I'll accept late work, which means you could turn in work as late as Wednesday before midnight. Any late work, however, is going to be at half points. So 50% is going to be deducted for lateness. So make every single effort to turn in all of your work on time. If you know you have some things coming up, vacations, etc., turn your things in early. Everything is open. You can see all the assignments to the end of the quarter right now. So make sure that you work ahead rather than work behind if you need to. But there is a 3-day grace period where you can get some points on late work. And so just so you know, hopefully it won't come up, but if it does, we'll understand in advance how late work is going to be handled. So that is my introduction to week 1. Again, I'm glad to have you in class. I look forward to talking with you in the discussion area and learning more about your perceptions and thoughts about behavior in organizations. Have a great week, and I hope to hear from you soon.